Hey everyone. Hey everyone and welcome back. Now in the earlier video we were basically discussing about how data moves from hot bucket to warm bucket. Now continuing the series, in today's video we'll discuss on how data moves from warm bucket to cold buckets. Now, one important part to remember is that ideally, historical data should be stored in the cold bucket, because if you remember in the diagram that we were discussing, the cold bucket path ideally should be in a cheaper storage. So, hot and warm bucket should be in a disk which has much more faster performance. However, the cold bucket can be in a cheaper storage, so where the disks are slow but the storage capacity is cheaper. So this is how generally you will see a lot of organizations implementing the architecture. Now, this is the reason why this point says that ideally the historical data should go there, because if you search for the data which is present within the cold bucket, your performance will be impacted. Now, basically buckets are rolled from warm to cold when there are too many warm buckets. Now, what do you mean by when there are too many warm buckets? Now, this is specified within the indexes configuration which you define. So this is a sample index configuration where you have your index name, you have your cold path. So this is the cold path. This can be whatever path that you define. It can be of current disk, it can be of remote disk. And the last important configuration here is max warm db count is equal to 300. That means that there can be maximum of 300 warm buckets. After 300 warm bucket limit is reached, the bucket will be moved from warm to cold. And in today's video, we'll be looking into this in practical aspects so that we understand on how exactly it works. Alright, so I am in my Splunk CLI. So we'll go to OPT, Splunk, etc, apps, search, local, and within this directory, you have an indexes.conf. So let's open indexes.conf here. And basically we have two indexes which are present. One is KP Labs and second is bucket lifecycle. So bucket lifecycle is the index that we are more interested in. Now within this index, you will see at the start you have the cold path. So this is the path where your cold database buckets will be stored. However, we do not have any configuration related to max warm bucket that we were discussing. So this specific configuration is not present. So let's do one thing. I'll just copy this configuration to avoid any typos and I'll paste it here. So this is max warm db count, and this time we'll say count is equal to 1. That means there can be maximum of only one warm bucket. We'll go ahead and we'll save it. Now before we do a restart, let's quickly look into how many warm or hot buckets are there currently. So if you go to OPT Splunk var lib Splunk, within this we'll go to bucket lifecycle. Within this you have db, and within db you currently have only one warm bucket. So this is the only warm bucket that you have right now. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll add a new data. So let's go to the indexes right now and we'll go to add data. This time since our index size is quite less, what we'll do is we'll just upload a very small text file. You can just upload any text file that you intend to do. I have one test file which is lookups -sample-01. I'll just upload this text file. It does not really have much. It just has this 5 events. I'll go ahead and let me just say test source type. I'll save it. Now within the index, I want to save it in the bucket lifecycle index. We'll go ahead, we'll do a review and we'll click on submit. Perfect. So now your file is uploaded. So now if you do a ls once again, you see you have a hot bucket which is present over here. So this is the hot bucket where your events are currently present. So we have one warm bucket, we have one hot bucket. Now we have modified the indexes.conf. So now next time when you restart, what would happen is the data which is there within the warm bucket, it will be shifted to the cold bucket, and the data which is there in the hot bucket, it will be moved to the warm bucket. The reason why, because there can be only one warm bucket. So currently this warm bucket is already present. Now if you restart, the hot will be converted to warm, and there will be two warms. So and our configuration says that there can be maximum of only one warm bucket, and hence Splunk will move one of the warm buckets to the cold storage. So what we'll do, we'll do a opt splunk bin splunk restart. Perfect. So our Splunk is now restarted. Now if you do a ls-l once again, you see that there is only one warm bucket. And previously, if you go a bit up, our warm bucket name ended with 6936_0. And if you see here, this is little different. So basically, now we can confirm that whatever hot bucket was present, it moved to the warm bucket here. So this is the new warm bucket. And if you go out of this directory, you have also a directory called as ColdDB. Now if you go to ColdDB, you see this is the warm bucket that we had. So this is how the migration actually happens. However, one problem here is that everything that we have here is within the root. In the idle practice, generally the ColdDB that you generally create, you should avoid it to be in the main disk, because the main disk is supposed to be very fast, and if you start to store all the ColdDB here, one thing is that storage will be expensive, and hence it's better to move ColdDB to a cheaper storage, so that you only have the hot and warm in the disk, which has a very good performance. So this is it about today's video. I hope this has been informative for you, and I look forward to see you in the next video.